This video is going to show you how to start developing an interior elevation. So we're going to start with a brand new drawing based on our architectural imperial template. We'll switch to model space, and then we're going to go to the insert tab and attach an external reference. So maybe we're going to create an interior elevation of our master bathroom. So we're going to just bring that into the drawing anywhere. Zoom extents. And then when we select this external reference, one of the options we have is to create a clipping boundary. And we'll just select a rectangular from that list of options. That'll allow us just to draw a rectangle around the master bathroom. And then we press escape. And now we have a clipped version of that external reference. We can turn off the clipping to see the entire drawing again. So remove clipping is an option so that we didn't actually lose any of that information. This is still a live external reference. Now that I've selected that, maybe I want to use the rotate command to rotate it 180 degrees because I'm going to draw an interior elevation of this wall with the plumbing fixtures on it. So to start, I just simply project all my wall lines down. I'm going to want to make sure that I'm drawing on the correct layers. And then I can just draw a line anywhere to start the floor line. I typed TR and hit the space bar all with my left hand to quickly start the trim command. I'll pick my trim line, right click, and then I drag a crossing window across those lines. I'll do F and spacebar to quickly start the fillet option. Just hitting the spacebar again repeats the last command. I'm going to type O in spacebar to get into offset. And maybe the ceiling's 8 feet, so I'm going to offset this floor line up 8 feet. Hit escape because I'm done offsetting things. TR, spacebar, pick my cutting plane, right click, crossing window. So you can see how once you start to learn some of the shortcuts in AutoCAD, you can really draw things rather quickly. The next thing we're going to do is try and figure out where our plumbing fixtures go. So I snap to the center of the circle for the drain in that sink. We haven't drawn any plumbing fixtures in elevation, but what we can do is use some blocks that come with AutoCAD. On the Insert tab, there's a tool called the Design Center. When we click on that, that allows us to access some blocks either out of one of our drawings, like if we were drawing the second floor plan and we have already drawn the first floor plan, we could browse to the first floor plan and pull some of the blocks that we used in the first floor into the second floor. In this case, we're going to go to the House Designer sample drawing and select blocks, and we can see that there's a toilet in front elevation. All we have to do is drag that out into the drawing. There's also a faucet that would imply a sink, so we can drag that out into the drawing. Then we can close that and select this toilet block, and rather than using the move command, I see that there's a grip centered on the bottom. So if I just click on that grip for that block and I let go of the mouse, I'm not dragging, now I can reposition it to this new spot, which happens to be the intersection of this reference line and the floor line. So I'll hit escape to unselect the toilet. Then I can select and hit the delete key to make that other line go away. So if I do the O and enter, and then type in a distance that I want the countertop to be at, and maybe there's a 4-inch backsplash, I can trim these lines up to the wall, and I see that the countertop goes over to some point where there's some tall wall cabinets. So I'm going to draw the edge of that tall wall cabinet, and then I select this sink block and then click on the grip and reposition it. And I might offset this countertop down 1.5 inches. I can now erase those two reference lines. And all along we want to make sure that we're using different layers to help control line weights, mainly in elevations, exterior elevations, interior elevations, and building sections. We're going to use layers to help define the line weights, and that ultimately means each layer is a different color. Whereas in any plan drawings, floor plans, site plans, we're creating layers to contain certain types of objects so that we can control visibility. In an interior elevation like this, we're typically never going to turn off the plumbing fixtures or turn off the cabinets, so we don't need to have special layers just for those. So similarly, for this notion of interior design, we could open up our floor plan, and from the design center, if we go from house designer to home space planner, there's some symbols in here that we can drop in, like chairs, pianos, end tables, and coffee tables, and sofas. You'll also be able to use the insert block command. So insert and then more options, and then browse for some of the shapes that you've already drawn. So that's a quick look at some of the interior design options that you'll be performing in the Residential Design AutoCAD book.